Hello everyone, that manga kid here to do my October manga haul. I only have 15 volumes this month. I was really trying to save money and cut back on how much I was buying. Um, yeah, I'll just get right into it. I'll start off with the stuff that I bought new. I picked up Servant X Service. This is a large form factor uh, 2-in-1 volume released by Yen Press. It is a 4-panel comic about three new employees at a civil servant office, and just the hijinks and ridiculousness that ensues every day at work. I bought both volumes, so this is the entire series. There are color pages at the beginning, um, and like I said, this is about the size of a Viz signature, but it is Yen Press. I don't normally buy 4-Koma stuff because I don't really find them to be funny. This, however, I watched the anime for this years ago. It is hysterically funny. The 4-Koma style fits it perfectly, and I work for the community services department of my city. So this is basically my job in manga form. The ridiculous situations, the crazy customers, the insane coworkers, and just the funny stuff that happens day to day is literally my life. So I really couldn't not own this when this is actually my job in manga form. Um, yeah, it is pretty funny. I love it. I wouldn't necessarily go all out and buy both if you've never heard anything about this series. I would sample it. If you can get it from the library, read like a couple panels online or something just to see if it's something that would interest you, or watch a couple episodes of the anime. The humor's the same as in the anime, um, obviously just in manga form, but I'm slowly making my way through it. It's one that I like to read if I'm in, if I need to be cheered up, read a couple panels of this, and it is so funny. So super stoked to have this. That's Servant X Service. Next, I got Inuyashiki Volume 9. This was a pre-order that just came in. I'm not going to open it up, like, because I don't want to spoil anything, but um, yeah, if you haven't checked out Inuyashiki, it's a really cool sci-fi series. There will be 10 volumes in total, I believe, and the 10th one comes out in December. I think I'm on volume 5 or 6. It's pretty cool. The art is amazing. This is Hiroya Oku, who did Gantz. Next, I got Monster Volume 3, Perfect Edition. I haven't read this yet. I don't need to say much about Monster. I'm pretty sure everybody knows what Monster is. I just haven't got around to collecting it until now. So slowly but surely I will get all of them. Next, another pre-order that finally came in, Ajin Volume 10. This is a vertical release, the little ones that are like shorter than regular volumes. They do have color pages at the beginning. Haven't read this yet. The release is so slow for this series that I don't want to read this and then have to wait months. So I'll probably reread the first 9 volumes to refresh my memory, then read this, and hopefully by that point, volume 11 will almost be out. But super stoked to have that. That's such a cool series. If you haven't checked it out yet, I definitely recommend it. She and Her Cat. Slice of Life, also vertical. Again, the small form factor book. This is kind of shiny, and it's just a slice of life, interesting art. It was a short film, Makoto Shinkai short film, and I did watch it years ago. So I finally just got around to picking this up. It's basically just the cat watching its owner go about her day-to-day life. There are some gorgeous color pages at the beginning. Yeah, slowly making my way through it. Next, I picked up Bloom Into You Volume 1. This is a Yuri series I've actually wanted to check out. I'm quite picky about Yuri series. I don't typically like them, but this one caught my eye, and I am interested in checking it out. So I bought Volume 1 and also Volume 3 because those are the two that were on sale. I will pick up Volume 2, and when I do, that's when I'll read these 3, and then I'll probably pre-order Volume 4, but I'm not going to read them till I have Volume 2 because I don't want to be stuck wanting to know what happens next. Next, probably my favorite thing I picked up this month, and maybe even favorite thing I've picked up in a long time. This is Jackass. This is a new Yaoi release. It's by Scarlet Verico. This is a Sublime release, and it is larger than a regular volume. It's about a volume and a half, I think. I found this by accident. I was on Chapters buying something else. It recommended this to me, and I'm so glad I bought this. I couldn't pass up this cover, and then I got it and turned it over, and that is what his shirt says. Hopefully you can read that, because I'm not reading it out loud. This is the story about these two friends. This guy accidentally wears his sister's pantyhose under his sweatpants, and his friend sees it and actually has a fetish for pantyhose. So they kind of start this sexual relationship, but like not really. It's just them exploring their sexuality through his fetish, and realizing their feelings for each other through his fetish. I don't know, but it was so good. I really, really enjoyed it. This is now one of my favorite Yaoi series I've ever read. It was so, like, I thought it was just going to be ridiculous, but it really wasn't. It has all of these different gay men, all in different stages of discovering themselves, and their sexuality. And it was just so sweet and cute and really, really funny. And the art is great. I'm going to find a page that is not sexual. Here's kind of what the art looks like. I just found it to be all around enjoyable. There's backgrounds that are gorgeous. It's not just plain white backgrounds, which a lot of yaoi tends to have. I just really loved it. I absolutely recommend this. If you've never, or if you like yaoi series and you haven't checked out Jackass, I absolutely recommend it. It was so good. The sexual scenes were not, like, it wasn't overwhelming. There wasn't always sex happening. And I don't know, like, I just found it to be really cute and really, really enjoyable. And I've read it a couple times through already. And definitely will read it again. It was so good. So I'm really glad I stumbled upon this, because I wouldn't have bought it otherwise. So yeah, definitely check out Jackass if you haven't already. And then I've got a little pile of used stuff. All of it is yaoi except for one title. I just bought these for a couple dollars each off of someone. I think I paid $20 for all 6 volumes. But I got Backstage Prince Volume 1. This is a 2-volume series. I'll grab Volume 2 at some point. Not in a hurry. The person I bought them from neglected to mention there was a juice spill. So there's a juice stain on the bottom of this one. It's not terrible. I don't really care. It was just kind of like, oh, thanks for mentioning that. Then the reason I actually responded to the ad in the first place is because I saw this series. It's called Not So Bad. It's a Net Comics release, and I have a couple, maybe I only have one. I have another series by Net Comics. This is a Korean series. I have another yaoi Net Comics series that I really enjoyed and figured I would check this one out. It's quite old. I think I don't remember, probably around 2007 or so. This was released. I might be completely wrong about that. I did finish reading this yesterday, actually. It was okay. It was basically just about this famous guy and this random guy who ends up living with him. Yeah, it was pretty good. Glad to have it, though, because I like the Net Comics releases. Next, I got this short story collection, A Place in the Sun. This has a massive juice stain. I ended up having to cut out the page here because it was so crystallized and ripped and covered in dried juice. This was all crystallized. I had to scrape the crystallization off. It does go in a little bit to the manga part, but mostly it's just on the ads and stuff. The entire cover front and back was covered in this black, sticky, gross stuff. I took a butter knife that it doesn't have a serrated edge, and just scraped the volume completely, front and back, and scraped the black sludge stuff off of it, and then took a slightly damp cloth and just washed it because it still was really sticky to the touch. Now, if you hold it, you have no idea it was ever disgusting. But honestly, like, I didn't even want to touch it. I was holding it, and I was so grossed out by how it felt. It was sticky and just gritty and disgusting. Not thrilled about that because the person, again, didn't say anything about the juice stain. This one was pretty bad, but I managed to clean it up nicely enough. And now the only unfortunate bit is this massive thing on the back here. But haven't read this yet, just some short stories. Super stoked to read it, though. The cover's cute. I also got Fumi Yoshinaga's Truly Kindly, another short story collection. This is by Blue. This was Tokyo Pop's Yaoi label. Yeah, I have a couple other stuff by Blue, which is why I was interested in this, just because it is out of print and the cover looks really pretty. So, haven't read it yet either, but I will eventually. And finally, this is a June, or June, I don't know how it's pronounced, June, I guess, manga that I got because of how absolutely ridiculous the synopsis was for this volume. This is also short stories. I didn't know that when I bought it. I thought it was just one story, but it is a bunch of short stories. This is called White Brand. The description of the main first story is that this character does not like things that are not white because he sees white things as pure because his grandpa's ashes were white. And he has a darker skinned friend who he can't even touch without getting sick because he isn't pure white. So I read that description and thought that was the most ridiculous thing ever, and how that came over here, and it was just translated and released here just cause. Yeah, there's some really, like, it was just shocking to me, the language used in this, because I thought maybe the author was trying to do like a social commentary on race. That's not what I got from this. I think the person was just really, really oblivious to what they were writing. Yeah, so it's quite old. It was written, I think, in the late 90s. I can't remember the publication date. But anyway, I just bought it because I thought it was ridiculous. I read it. The rest of the stories were not terrible. It just, I couldn't believe what I was reading, and I just couldn't believe that this was brought over here and just translated as if it was anything else. I don't know. I just found it to be something that I definitely wanted in my collection just to say I had it. Yeah. Anyway, so that's what that is. That is everything I got this month. Mostly yaoi stuff. And yeah, next month will probably be, again, a smaller haul just because of money. But I'm pretty stoked about the stuff that I did get. If you have any questions about any of the stuff I showed, or you've read them yourselves and want to chat about it in the comments, please do. I love to talk about manga. So thank you for watching. See ya.